Hey reseller family, I'm Tina and welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel, and I'm really happy that you're here. So today I am going to do a very newbie friendly walkthrough of how to create your listing on Amazon. Now today I'm going to be creating my listing using my GTIN exemption for the brand name generic. Now I don't necessarily recommend getting GTIN for the word generic. A lot of people do it, and you can. Even I have it because my first GTIN was for generic. Until I decided to get it for names, which I think looks a little bit better for brands. But when an item truly is something generic, well, you know, generic is really fine, and it's not going to prevent the item from being sold. I can promise you that. I've sold lots and lots and lots of items at ASINs using generic as a GTIN. Now, if you happen to have the UPC code for your product and have approval to list it, that's great. We're going to then just use UPC in lieu of the GTIN. GTIN just allows you to create a listing without having to use a UPC. That's the benefit of it. Or you may have purchased a UPC from the GS1 database that you're going to be using. All of these are going to work just fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to log in to your Amazon seller account. And when you are on your home page, to get to this page that I'm on, you're going to scroll over inventory here. And from the drop-down menu below it, you're going to choose this option, add a product. You're going to click it, and then you're going to find yourself here where I'm at right now. Excuse me, I have to take a sip of water here. Okay, so today we are going to make a listing for an oven mitt and a pot holder. So I want to go below the search bar because I'm not adding a product that already exists. I'm adding a product not sold on Amazon. So we're going to click this option here and it will open us a new page. Okay. Now, once we're on this page here, yours may look a little differently. I have favorite categories that I like to list in, so I have saved them to my favorites. And so that's why I have this up here. Then we have a search category. So if you're not really sure where your item can go, you can click this box and type in here, oven mitt and pot holder, salt and pepper shakers, whatever it is you're listing. Or we can go down here and we can choose the category that we believe that it belongs in and really narrow it down. Again, these stars are categories that are my favorite categories. I know that salt and pepper shaker will be here in home and kitchen. So I'm going to choose home and kitchen. And then it's going to break it down even further. And this is what you want to do because you really want to micro it down exactly where your listing should go. But really, if you just type up in that search bar that I told you up here, Amazon's pretty good about pulling all this up for you. Now we're going to go here into kitchen and dining. And we are going to, let's see. Would it be under kitchen utensils and gadgets? I'm thinking maybe kitchen accessories, but I want to look at all of these options. I'm going to choose the accessories, aprons, let's see. See, pot holders and oven mitts. And well, ours is a pot holder and an oven mitt. So you have to pick one or the other. It's not going to make really any difference on your listing. So let's just select this top one. So now we are to our page where we are going to create our listing. And this is our listing template in Amazon. just so you know, you can make listings using flat files. I have never mastered the flat file. So for 7 years, I've made listings this way, and it's always served me well. Now that we're in here, another thing I need to point out to you is this is what is called a product node. This is how we just walked through all those steps and how we got to the potholder oven mitt category. Also, a lot of these words can be your keywords in your Amazon listing, you know, the kitchen and dining and etc. And another important feature on this page that I have to point out is right here where it says more attributes. We need to turn this on. Now, why Amazon doesn't automatically just have all these options open doesn't make any sense to me, because we need to use them. So why even have this on-off feature for them? I don't understand. Pay attention to up here where right now we only have 4 categories. Once I select this, you're going to see a lot more pop up. See that? Okay, now we are going to go down here and type in our product name. This is the title of our listing, and this is the most important real estate on your Amazon listing. And what I mean by that is your most important keywords need to go here. If somebody's searching in Google and not even on Amazon, your Amazon listings will even show up in Google search results. So we want this to be very explanatory of what our item is. And if you need ideas, you can look at existing listings on Amazon to get ideas for clever titles, how other sellers are wording them. Today, I'm going to keep everything very simple, just to give you a nice walkthrough how to make your listing. We're going to say farmhouse. No, not farmhouse. I know farmhouse is really popular for things. We're going to do Easter because it's Easter season. So we have Easter theme, oven, mitt, and pot holder kitchen set. Now our brand name is going to be generic. I don't know as far as manufacturer, but whoever's on the tag is the manufacturer of your item, not the brand name, but the manufacturer. Sometimes you're not sure, and I've put unknown here before. Today I'm going to say Momentum, which is a dollar store brand out here. Now this is very important right here on this unit count and unit type. This confuses a lot of people when they're first making their listings. Now, our oven mitt and pot holder set, you know, might be, oh, and that's another thing. I want to say how many. So is it like 2 oven mitts and 1 pot holder? Is it 2 of each? You know what I'm saying? So we're going to say set, and you can sometimes do something like this. 1 oven mitt, 2 pot holders. You can do something like that. Or you can, you know, put in here, you know, set of 3, something like that. But I'm going to do it like this. 1 oven mitt, 2 pot holders. But your image should also display this as well. I'm going to tell you that we have 3 items, right? So our unit count is not 3. Our unit count is 1. Because the customer is going to get just 1 set of this, no matter how many items are in it. If it's 1 item, 2 items, and in our case, 3 items. So your unit count is going to be 1, because what will happen is if you were to put 2 or 3 on your Amazon listing, it's going to make it appear as though they're getting more than 1 set. And so on unit type, common sense would tell me you're going to get 1 set. But no, it's 1 count. So you're going to generally always use count, unless these other things are applying to what you're listing. But most of my listings are 1 and count. That's what I use 99% of the time. Now on something like an oven mitt pot holder, for sizing, I usually put like OS for one size because it's not a large, medium, small situation. Now, if this is for a single item, we would put the color down here, and if the color is red, then the color map, I put red again. But for today, I also want to do a variation. I want to do a variation so this video will serve you whether you're doing a single listing or a variation listing. I mean, if you're doing a single listing, you just keep it on no, and that's fine. But if you want to do a variation, you need to see how. So our oven mitt and pot holder is going to have more than one style. And so we're going to choose color. So now that opened up a variation requirement for us. This red exclamation point means we now have to fill in these variations. And now we're ready to move on to this tab. So you're going to click variations. And it already carried over color as what we're doing. One thing I want to mention is, let's say in this case we're going to do our Easter oven mitt and pot holder. One might have an Easter bunny on it while the other one has a cute Easter chick on it. And maybe they're both multicolor. What you can do instead of doing, let's say, pink and yellow, by typing in one variation is pink, and you would hit add, and now that's going to populate down here, pink. What I like to do on a listing like this, when it's not just as simple as being the color pink or the color yellow, I will call it bunny, add, and say Easter chick, add. So this is what I'm calling my colors, and you can do this. I'm going to click here, delete selected. I want to get rid of the pink. Now the reason why I like to do this is these are also keywords, and the Easter oven mitt and pot holder has an Easter bunny on it, and this one has the chick. Now what happens when you're looking at an Amazon listing, I'm going to give you a visual. When you see a title on Amazon and it will come up like this, and you'll see it in the search results like this, this is what happens. That variation that I put, it populates in the title when you're looking at that image or if someone is searching it. So it's almost like it gives you a little bonus keyword in your title. And so I like it for that reason. All right, where were we at? Variations. All right, so now back to the variation tab. Another thing I like to do, especially if you have lots of variations to save you from having to go row by row and box by box, is up here on this top row, I will choose the condition, new, and what I'm going to sell it for on Amazon. And I always put that I have 0 in stock because I am just creating the listing. We're going to click the box over here. And then up here, we're going to click Apply Changes. And you see now it just populated everything here for us. Now my product type is going to be a GTIN. If you have a UPC, then you're going to scroll down and choose UPC, and then you're going to put your UPC number in this box here. I'm using my generic GTIN. Now the color map is important. The reason the color map is important is oftentimes when somebody is searching on Amazon and they're trying to narrow down their search, that they are looking for an oven mitt set that is pink. Well, if ours is pink, we need to have that in there because it helps us come up in the search results. So sometimes things are multiple colors, but they're more dominant in one of the colors. So if something is truly just too many colors, you can choose multi and put that there. But if this Easter oven mitt with the bunny is more pink, and this one happens to be more yellow, I want to make sure I put that in the color map. We are now done with our variation page. So we're going to move over to offer. Now, offer is more for your single listings because in variation, I have already entered in my pricing of $12.99 for each style. Now, I leave this here. I let Amazon mess with the taxes. Shipping template is more for somebody who is a merchant fulfilled seller that has multiple shipping templates. And you want to choose a separate template from whatever your master template might be. 9 times out of 10, these are the things you're not going to bother with. If you're not doing a variation and it's just a standalone listing, you're going to want to enter your price here. I don't ever fill in any of these boxes for the order quantity, handling time. All of these I leave blank. The fulfillment channel, when I'm creating a listing in my account, I just leave it on merchant fulfilled. That does not mean that you cannot send it in FBA. We're just creating the listing. And remember, we have 0 in stock. Now our next tab up here is compliance. On compliance, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have to fill out any of this information unless it applies to your item. And these are items most of us sellers are not trying to create listings for. If you have something that is, a beauty product, bug spray, perfumes, things with batteries, things that would cause something to have safety issues or, be a hazmat type of item, this is the information Amazon needs on those items. In the 7 years I've listed on Amazon and made my own listings, the only thing I've ever had to do on this page is on the few occasions that I listed something that had batteries in it. So I had a Christmas, it was one of back when they were popular several years ago, they were the Christmas like beanie hats that had a little button with a little battery on it because the beanie hats lit up. I had to put the battery information in here. And that was a little complicated. I actually had to Google, what kind of battery is this? And so it took me a minute to figure it out. And all of these didn't even apply to my one battery. This safety data sheet, most of us are familiar with that in regards to toys, when Amazon is going to deactivate our listing unless we can provide this information. If you are somebody who has actually gone through the length of having your item made for you, that you have the safety data sheet, this is where you're going to put it. And you will see, again, most of this stuff we don't even have to deal with. I generally do, though, a lot of times on certain products on this pesticide, not pesticide, which one is it down here? I think it's on this page. Maybe it's not. Okay, never mind. So anyway, on compliance, we don't have anything that is a compliance requirement for oven mitt and pot holders. So we literally can skip this entire page. Our next option is our images. Now, creating your images is another story, another video topic. But if you already have your images or you have created your own images, you are going to upload them into these boxes. If you have ever listed a listing on eBay before, it's really the same thing. Same thing as listing on Etsy. All of the platforms in this area are very, very similar. You click your camera icon and then you upload your image from your computer. Now, Amazon, same as eBay and Etsy and most selling platforms, they like more images. You seem to rank higher in the search results when you have more images. I think 7 is ideal, unless I'm confusing that with eBay. But I will do sometimes up to that many if it's a bundle or a product that, allows me to be that creative. But more often than not, my listings have 3 and up to 4 images. So let's say our first image is going to be our oven mitt and pot holder. Then you could put the oven mitt here, the pot holder here, and now you have 3 images just like that. Sometimes you can get creative and make a diagram image where maybe you show like the little arrow pointing up with 12 inches, or so a person knows how big an item is. And I am going to make my next video on this topic, on creating images for your listings. But anyway, you will click here and upload your image into these squares. Now this is one of the most important tabs. And I have a random Easter Bunny listing up over here to show you where this goes on a listing, where your description goes, and the key product features. The key product features are actually your bullet points. So you will definitely want to click Add More, and this is going to be bullet point 1, 2, 3. So let's look over at a listing here on Amazon. Now this is just some random Easter Bunny salt and pepper set that I pulled up. And you see here about this item, these bullet points. That is what when you type something here, this is where it comes up on Amazon, those bullet points, line by line, that one salt and pepper shaker set, and they put their measurements, and this is what is in their bullet points. You have to forgive all my seller tools here. See, the description is what Amazon requires. But the description oftentimes is really far below. Way down here is their description. And that's another thing about Amazon with creating listings is that I don't understand is why do they require a product description, but they don't require a bullet point? Me as a shopper, I don't want to scroll all the way down here to read about the item. I like seeing my bullet points up here next to the item. So that's just my 2 cents on that one. But I did want you to at least see where this information goes. All right, so let's get on to our product description. Easter oven, mitt, and pot holder set for your Easter themed kitchen. I'm leaving this one pretty basic. You can put more there, don't get me wrong, but I'm just trying to keep it basic for the listing. Here could be set of 3. What did I say? What was in our title? Was it 1 oven mitt and 2 pot holders? Look, I'm going to even save some typing time, copy, and paste that right here. Now remember, ours is a variation, so I am going to do choose your favorite Easter bunny or Easter chick design. We can say measures 12 inches, hot, or measure, we could say like the hot oven mitt, pot. This is not really great, but you get the idea. I don't know how big are pot holders, 7 inches. Then in the bullet points, I like to do things like, why should somebody want it? How does it make them feel? How is this going to be useful? Things like that. It's a way to kind of connect with a buyer. So these are the type of items you can add in your bullet points too. Something like, you will love cooking and serving your guests meals using these lovely springtime Easter oven mitt and pot holders, right? And then, you know, our next bullet point will be, you know, machine washable. You know, whatever is important to the item that you're selling them. And now this will be our bullet points. This will be our product description. Oh, this was the thing I was thinking about earlier, is this is what I choose. This, I don't even know what SCP-SIA warning is. I don't know what that stands for, but I do know that it definitely applies for the small children. For, see, it's a choking hazard, a marble, or it contains a small ball, or magnets. If your item does have any of these things, you definitely want to click this. It's not going to prevent your listing from going live, but it needs to be displayed on a listing if it contains something small that could possibly be a choking hazard. For an oven mitt and a pot holder, these don't apply to us, so we're going to say that there is no warning applicable. Now we're going to move on to our keywords tab. Now, hopefully we've been smart and we've used most of our keywords in our title, in our bullet points, and in our description. And those are the most important places to put them, and in that order. Search terms are, what do you think somebody is typing in to find your item? But also it's additional to add items or words that somebody might type instead of what you've already included in your listing. And in this case, it could be hostess gift for holiday. It might be, we had Easter bunny in our listing, but maybe we want to put, you know, rabbit. Maybe we want to put baby chick, you know, for the other oven mitt. And what else can we put, you know, cooking. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Probably because this is my third attempt, actually maybe even fourth attempt at trying to do this video today. So my brain is getting fried. But here we want to put other search terms that somebody would likely be typing to find our items that we did not already include. Now we're moving on to our last tab of our listing, more details. And there are a couple of key features on this page that are important. And mine is the GTIN, so my exemption reason is that I'm doing a custom product or bundle. Now, the material type, if it's known, you're going to want to put this here. And ours are cotton. And the number of items, I usually leave this blank, but it does have 3 items. I don't do launch date, release date. I will put where the item is made. A lot of shoppers want to know this. And then the dimensions. For the item dimensions and the package dimensions, I always enter the same. So whatever they measure in the poly bag that you now put them in for Amazon, once I've packaged them, I will measure them and then I weigh them. And this is so important to not just guess, because what if you thought your item weighed a pound, so you put 1 pound in your listing? Well, now you're going to be paying those really high fees on Amazon, because as you know, the fees are based off the weight and the size of the package. And you also, on the other hand, don't want to cheat and say that it's smaller or less weight than it is to avoid the higher fees, because Amazon will catch up to that and they're going to then adjust it on your listing anyway. But of course, on the flip side, if you put that the item was heavier than it really is, Amazon never seems to want to lower those fees. And then you're opening up a case saying, you know, please do a bin check on my item because I think these fees are too high. This item only weighs this much and is only this big. Can you please check and adjust the fees? Then you're just asking for another set of problems. So in this case, my oven mitt and pot holder set is 12 inches by 7 inches, and it's 1 inch high. And then we have to scroll over here to the drop down menu and select our inches. And then I repeat that in here. If you don't do this, and then you're going into Inventory Lab to create your shipment, it is then going to ask you for this information in Inventory Lab, and it takes a lot longer for Inventory Lab to communicate to Amazon to update that. So you just want to get it done here. And now my item is 8 ounces. If your item is something with care instructions like ours would be, our oven mitts, they are machine washable. No assembly required. If it was something with a special shape, you would want to put that here. The more information you can put on this back end, I think helps you in the search results if somebody is specifically searching for something. Like what if your item had some really unique shape, like it was shaped like a bunny? Somebody might type in bunny-shaped baking pan, right? So you want to put anything that is really important in this back end of these things. A lot of them you won't need. Now the occasion type for this is Easter, so that is something a bit special. So I definitely want to be able to add that in. If the occasion type could substitute for more occasions, let's see, a spring. Spring is not in here, but we can add it. The occasion type could be a party, right? You want to have a cute little party gift to give somebody. So you can add a few occasion types in there. And you see these finish type. If it had components that came with it to make it work, like how they give you an example that it comes with, say, an additional battery pack, or maybe it's something that comes with a leather carry, like when you think of the sunglasses that come with the little sunglass case, you could put something like that here. If it were a stuffed animal, you would want to put in, is it foam on the inside, cotton? They give you kind of examples what to use. If it is something that holds body weight, what if it's some type of small stool? You would want to be able to put that information in here. Again, if it has hooks, what if this is a hook for car keys? And you want to put how many hooks are on there. I think you get the idea of that. None of these things apply to us. And material fabric regulations, I've not seen this before, but I would think they're not applicable for ours. Now we're done with our listing, guys. We are absolutely done. And at this point, you click Save and Finish. And when you go to your Amazon account, and absolutely done. And at this point, you click Save and Finish, and you hover over Inventory to look at your inventory in stock. This oftentimes will appear right away, but if not, don't worry, because many times it takes about 15 minutes before it appears in your account. And now you have just created your listing. So I hope that you find this helpful. And if you do and it works for you, give me a thumbs up. And so I hope that you find this helpful. And if you do and it works for you, give me a thumbs up. Hopefully before the week is up, I will create my next listing on how to create great photos for your listing. And I'm going to be using Canva for that. I use Canva for a lot of things. So thanks for joining me, guys, and have a great day.